Hello everyone, welcome back to the Bikdip Adventure 2 100% Speedrun tutorial. So, I'm going to have to enter the cheat code here, just to remind you of what that is. But normally you would just continue from level 1 instead of saving, because saving obviously takes you back to the menu and that loses time. Now you can actually use the boomerang to stun enemies instead of having to just avoid them. This probably goes without saying, but you want to avoid unnecessary movement where possible. So for example, there, you can see that the wall kind of curved in. I went too far left, and then I had to move to the right. That unnecessary left and right movement would cost you time in a run. It's minor, but little things like that can add up, so it's good to kind of keep it in mind. So, now that we have the boomerang, we can enter this area and kill the enemies up here. That will allow us to reach level 2. They'll usually kind of cluster around the spot where they enter. After that, they'll kind of disperse, so try to figure out where they're coming from and then do that. Same thing here, I believe. Oh no, these ones actually spawn in. Getting a pretty bad run of this. I also decided that I'm just going to be skipping the splits instead of hitting them. That way I don't have to worry about accidentally golding something if I forget and mess it up. So here, you want to burn this bush. I remember this as being aligned with this kind of squarish corner of the dirt. That's how I remember it. Then you head up here. That's level 2 right there, but we need to take kind of a circuitous path to it. Levers can appear on these walls, so be ready to use your boomerang if one appears in your path. There's places they seem to like to spawn, like this corner. Yep. Something to do with the RNG. I don't know the program like ins and outs well enough to tell you exactly why that is. This is a new speed game, and I'm not really much of a speedrunner. This bushy burn is in line with the bottom of this wall, so make sure you do that. This one is indicated in-game. You want to head up here like this and walk up into it. Walk up, go right slightly. Unfortunately, you don't enter these caves aligned with the items, so you do have to adjust your position a little bit. Then you want to head straight up here. That cave gives you a hint that tells you that there's a walkable wall here. It's directly in line with the cave, so good marker. And then you walk down here and enter level 2. Level 2 is actually relatively easy for the most part. It's mostly just walking around and pushing stuff. There's a couple rooms you have to kill enemies, and those can be a little slow depending on well, just depending on how they decide to move and how you hit them. Again, super bombs are kind of the king of damage here in terms of options at the moment. Now, it's important to note that you wouldn't normally have super bombs. You get one as part of the progression of level 3, and then you get access to a shop during level 5. But yeah. So you want to head down. Obviously, the cheat code is how we have access to this. You want to head down. You want to try to kill these as you're progressing to the bottom, so that this one's not cooperating. So that as the ladder appears, you're here. If you're really good, then you won't even lose much time. I'm going to head left here. Once again, these rooms are dark, and they expect you to use the candle to light them up. One important thing to note, when you can only carry 2 super bombs, if you happen to use one when it's your only one left, then it will shuffle it out for another item, so it's better to refill after every super bomb at this stage. Anyway, killing the enemies opens a passage here, and I'm going to go ahead and light this up so you can see the route, but basically you want to hold right as far as you can, down, left, down. You can kind of hold 2 directions at a time, so right now I'm holding down and left. And okay, Bog automatically turn left, then I was holding left and up, now I'm just holding up. Now I'm holding left and up, and Bog automatically did that movement, now right and up, now right and down, right and down still. Like, you kind of see how Bargo adjusts his movement. Like, if you're going in a direction, you start holding another one, then when he hits a wall, he'll start going that other direction. That's pretty useful to know. Like, I'm going to light this room as well. This is a puzzle. There's 3 spots that have crumbled like pebbles on the ground. It's the same place every time. There aren't really any random elements in this game aside from enemy AI. But you want to push this, so do that until that happens, and then you want to walk left. If you're doing this in darkness, you want to line up with where the UI is up there, like the number of bombs I have and stuff. And then you want to head down, and then hold right and down, and then when you start going down, hold left and down, and then just left, and then left and up. You should go here, except I messed it up. If you take the wrong ladder, you'll get warped back to the start of the room. So let me just show you what a complete run of that looks like in the darkness. Okay, it's not too bad. If you kind of remember the layout of the room. Didn't need to light that up, obviously you wouldn't in a run, but there I forgot to refill. That's a split. As soon as you get that key, it's actually going to warp you back up here, which is non-Euclidean, but use the key there straight away to go to the right. We don't collect maps and compasses in this run, but we do collect all keys, even though you actually can skip some. Here, these things will eventually turn into the bigger form that can't be destroyed with the boomerang, but you can just use bombs at that point. That room was a puzzle. You basically want to push this thing and it drains the water, and then you kind of walk around it. Here's another combat room. And then cheese. And you'll be warped back up here again. And then you need to equip the cheese. Except you can do this after you exit this room. Yeah, there you go. You want to try to avoid the bats as much as possible. Obviously, with your limited movement, there's only so much you can do. If one's directly in your path, throw the boomerang instead of waiting for it. Anyway, you can progress items while this guy's talking. There's no way to speed up his text. Place the cheese and you can head up. Here you want to switch to bombs. Just regular ones are fine. Push this left block. Push. Oh, sorry. You want to bomb the right one. That opens up the ladder up here. And there's technically multiple ways you can go here. If you, for some reason, wanted to, you could go right instead. It really doesn't make a difference. My splits assume you go left first. Just mirror what I'm doing in that case. Oops. And then up here, you want to super bomb these guys. Ugh. Okay. Then you get the arrow. Walk back. And there's actually a hot piece here we're about to get on the way back. Wow, that was really bad fireball RNG. You can push up just the left part of the ladder. Go like this. And then go back the same direction you came because you're technically not centered. Oops. Down, right. Always try to be, actually, we want to refill our rupees as well. That's something I forgot to do before. Then you head up here. And there's more of these guys. There's the bow. There's nothing else on the way back, so you can just switch to the bow. It's worth learning the order of items, by the way. Q and E, I'm actually not even, you can see right there, I'm pressing Q and E, or L and R, to switch between the items. It just cycles through their order like that. You'll want to learn the order, so that you aren't frantically searching for the item that you need. You can kind of predict where things are. And here's Goma. So you can get a shot there if you're fast. It's tricky. You want to try to stay in line with her. Just heal. Oop, shit. That was really bad. It's best to stay in line with her if you can. You can one cycle her. It's tricky. Goma's kind of a piece of shit and one of the least reliable kills in this game, but however you do it, eventually get there. And you want to do this, and then you want to F6 continue. Actually, no, you want to F6 save. My bad. This is one of the few save resets in the game, and you do have to enter the password again, unfortunately. Oops. Sword of 1000 truths. Yeah, we went ahead, right? I think I'm actually going to include level 3 in this one, just because it didn't have as much to explain for 2. Once again, up, slightly right, hold down. That was a mistake, I wanted to go right there. So as I said, travel on the edge of the screen when you can to avoid enemies. You don't want to stun them with the... Wow! You want to stun them with the boomerang when you can. This sword requires 5 hearts to pick up. If you've been following along, you should actually have 6 at this point. And now that you have the sword, you won't really be using it outside of combat. You still just want to stun enemies rather than killing them. It's faster. Shit. I usually kind of try to hug the wall. You slash where this arrow points, there's a hint for that normally. Head up here. You want to kind of line yourself up with this 4 and then bomb it as you pass by. That'll open up the way to level 4. You need a super bomb here. We're actually skipping part 1 of level 3 because that just gets you a super bomb, and that's not a unique pickup, so don't need to do that. So this level is split into multiple parts, and you need to complete all of them except that first one. Oh, I forgot to do that. And the white sword. Fuck. Okay, so you push these. These ones don't create a platform underneath them, so you can just kind of hold up as long as you want, and then let go. There's a later one where you'll have to kind of avoid getting into a little gap thing. Once again here, you can super bomb Aqua Mentis. The blue ones can only be pushed up and down. I believe the white ones can be pushed in any direction. As soon as you pick this up, you want to F6 continue. That's a skill you're going to need to pick up, is F6ing to quickly escape after picking something up to save time. So now we're headed to part 3. They're kind of arranged in reading order, with the exception of part 7, which is in the middle. You want to head down here. Oh, that was bad, rope RNG. If they do that, then you want to obviously stun them instead of just ignoring them like I did. Go left, stab this. And here's some Dark Nuts. You can super bomb these as well. This room is set up to make it not so bad to slash them as well. Super bombs are obviously kind of slow. And then you want to... It's kind of hard to explain. Just remember this path, basically. Here I remember it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You leave kind of 4 in the middle, and then you leave a 2 wide line here, and then you go up. And then it lines up with the door, basically. Immediately do that when you enter this part. Then you want to enter here. F6 continue. If you didn't see where that cheese was, just pause the video. You actually don't want to head down there. You want to... Yeah, let me actually... Give me a second. Fuck. That's not what I thought I had equipped. Okay. So, it will dump you off here. You actually want to head straight right. And then you can kind of head down a bit. And the 4 is not marked here because you bombed it, but it's still here where the stairs were. I'm going to present cheese to this guy. Don't go right, that's pointless. It's the intended way out, but you don't need to do it. These tiles will damage you by, I think, 2 hearts. Let me see. Yeah, 2 hearts, so you want to be really careful. Because that'll 3-hit kill you. In here, we've got kind of an annoying combat encounter. We've got Whiz Robes. Make sure you have Super Bombs equipped. But, ooh. The magic will stack, which is the most annoying part of these things. If you can use Sword Beams as well, depending on where they are. But yeah, as soon as you get this, F6 continue. Above all else, prevent dying there, because going through that room is slow. So if you have to take the, if you're a beginner and you have to kind of take that encounter a little slowly, then don't worry about it too much. So we want to head down to the bottom left of the map. And you want to keep moving here, and then start going down 2 away from the rocks to line up with the staircase. Have the candle equipped, and go like that. So a lot of this is about kind of anticipating what you're going to need coming up and preparing for it accordingly. Like, I think I need arrows. This is a pretty simple block puzzle room. So these are land molars. Depending on where they spawn and how they move, they can be kind of annoying. But best way I found to kill them is to fire arrows from behind these rocks. And of course you want to... Oops, sorry about that. You want to be heading over to this side. Have the candle equipped here. Burn these rocks. It doesn't matter which rocks you burn. Keep the candle equipped here. You want to push the rocks like this. And then burn this. Okay. And then head right. Oops. Yeah, you probably want to head down first, so you can line yourself up with this. And avoid running into bushes, because if you have to cut bushes, that'll cost you time as well. Here we have some Moldorms, they're not too bad. I think can you super bomb these? Yes, okay. So that's obviously recommendable. Up here is the part where I mentioned you have to kind of... Like, if you keep holding up, you'll go in here and then you'll get stuck, so... You want to kind of flick yourself out of there and head left. Here you just... Oops, that was terrible movement. But whatever. Okay. So then you want to head up, left, and line yourself up like this. Wow, that fireball usually doesn't hit you. Oh well. Go in here, line yourself up with the statues like that and head right, and then you want to kind of do this like dipping motion. You can walk through that wall, have bombs ready. So the thing about bombable walls, I'll point out in the other room, is you can actually bomb them from like 2 tiles away for some reason. This isn't the case for other bomb flags, only bombable walls in dungeons, but yeah. As soon as you pick this up, continue, it's faster than... Oop, that's not what I meant to do, go back. Kind of bomb them from here. Okay, it's like 1.5 tiles. Let me try again. You don't need to kill the dongos in here. Okay, oops, and my computer thought I clicked outside the window even though I didn't. It's fun. Can you get out of the way? I'm trying to demonstrate something. Okay, there you go. Here you just want to... Oh, an important thing to note is that warp tiles, if you need to step on them, you kind of need to line yourself up perfectly with them. Or at least the top half. But anyway. So here you want to plant the bomb like that. And then come up here. Here's another block pushing puzzle. Just follow what I'm doing, basically. Practice will get you used to that. You click this. Oops. This room is kind of weird. You kind of loop through it a couple of times, but once again, just follow what I'm doing. There's not really much to say here. It's just movement. Oops. This maze is, you can kind of see where it is already. Here's a useful thing to do. As soon as you come up here, face right and do that. Like, so like while you're slashing, press up, and you'll slash both of them in a single swipe. Here you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. You want to kind of do that. The reason for that is that, let's see, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then try to go like on a half tile here, because that way you won't have to move all the way into this tile. It's a minor point, but yeah, you can obviously slash 2 bushes at the same time by being on the... You can only do it vertically for some reason. If you're on the half tile, you only cut the bottom one. If you're going horizontally, but for vertical purposes, you can do that. Here we have more Wizrobes, which are, once again, kind of annoying to fight. Just avoid their attacks, try to slash or super bomb them. Super bombing is usually better when there's multiple in one spot, but that's not always possible. The bubbles will also take away your sword if they touch you, the red ones. Blue ones will give it back, so make sure that that doesn't happen. Oops. Here we have a clusterfuck. If you need to, you can use sword beams to damage them if they're on the other end of the room. Anyway, then you push the block the compass is on, up, head down, switch to arrows, and just try to line yourself up with multiple of them at the same time if you can, so if one moves, you get another. Arrows are kind of weird. I don't think you can have more than one on screen, but if an arrow hits an enemy, it'll instantly be destroyed and you can fire another one. So you'll kind of get this, like, hit, 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 and then waiting a while, depending on how far away it is. Head right. Oop, you don't want to do that. You want to line up with this perfectly. Go over here, push down, and then kind of go here. Hopefully you still have arrows equipped, so you can fire straight through that. The Moldorm can sometimes be in the way. Just hopefully it won't be. But yeah, you can kind of see how that would work. In here, be very careful. The correct bush to get is kind of obvious, and by the way, this is an invisible maze. You just kind of have to learn the path through it. You want to go down first, and you can kind of just hold vaguely right and up and down. You should eventually do it. Once you reach here, go left and face right. Fire blue candle. If you miss, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of part 7, where the statues were. So do not miss that shot, or the run's probably dead. Here, you want to be on super bombs. Walk up to it, and I missed. You can get it in one super bomb if you place it well. Once he starts doing this, he'll be really fast and annoying to hit, so it's usually worth it to try to go for a good shot. Anyway, once you kill him, if you blow stuff up, the statues in the middle will appear, but the green ones can be cut. And then you can just proceed to here. And this Trifles cutscene you don't want to continual save out of. You just wait for it to finish, because it's the best way of getting back to where you need to be, which is right here. Anyway, so I'm going to keep going for a little bit just to show how to get to level 4. You go through the area we bombed earlier. I suppose you could technically do it now, but I like to do it earlier just so I don't forget. Dark Knights are annoying. Oops. That's what I meant to do. There we go. The way that bombs work in terms of damage is that they act like a series of swords shooting out in the direction you were facing when you place the bomb. So you can kind of use that to your advantage to place the bombs correctly to hit the Dark Knights. They can't be hit from the front, and I believe they also can't be hit on one side where the shield is. So keep that in mind. Oh, what am I doing? So anyway, this is level 4. I'm going to save here. Normally you just keep going. But that's where we're going to leave off for today. Next time we'll cover part 4. and possibly the forest area afterwards. And then we'll continue from there. So hopefully this has been helpful. Please leave comments on any parts of these videos if you're curious about something involving the run. Otherwise, yeah, thank you. See you next time.